I mean, it's gonna be such a good show. Not a BB show, a really, really good show. So stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, today we're gonna cover Australian Big Brother. It's gonna be really good. I'm already ready to kill myself.
Me too.
So I can't imagine how you people at home feel. You guys, welcome to the after show for Big Brother 18. For a second I thought we were on Big Brother 17. Last year. You guys, thank you for commenting this week in the comment section on YouTube.
God,
Someone said we were the worst hosts ever.
Yes.
Someone says they missed that sassy bitch.
Oh yeah, I meant to comment on that. I miss you too, and that comment made me so happy. Thank you. The sassy bitch is back.
Listen, there was a lot.
Oh, I thought they were talking about me.
There was a lot of hate. But you know what? Bring it on. Haters, they were my biggest motivators.
Do you know?
Really like
Okay.
that.
Now you sound like Frankie Grande.
Just
That's
a
what
little.
He says he loves any haters and gives
I
him
know.
some energy.
Yeah, I had one hater
Says no
who
one.
changed her mind. I made her change her mind. She said I was the worst host and that I was horrible. And then she goes, actually, I watched the rest of the show and you're great. I love you.
I have to. That reminds me of something. Did you ever listen to This American Life episode where this American Life episode where a woman talks about how somebody made a fake Twitter account for her dead dad?
Oh.
And it was like this hater, and it was like, "You're fat. I wish I never gave birth to my daughter." Like on this Twitter, and then she confronted her
No, I
hater,
missed
and
that
they
one.
became like really close friends.
Yeah. No, I've seen that happen before on radio shows.
So hey, look, listen, haters out there. Maybe we can get coffee
Motivators.
sometime. Guys, I'm Jonny Manganello. Thank you for joining us. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jonny Mangs, and send me all the hate you want.
And yes, my daughter isn't here today because we're mentioning James' secret is he has a daughter. It's not a secret. I talk about it all the time. But I'm James Lott Jr. and we have a full panel today. I'm so excited. You can follow me at James Lott Jr. everywhere.
And our lovely bitch. This our sassy bitch.
Okay. My name's Lauren LoGrasso. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram
That's
at
what
Lauren LoGrasso.
Her words, not mine.
No, I know. I really like you. Also, one thing I want to add for anyone out there who's being persecuted, it's better to make someone feel something. Because if you're feeling angry or even if you like the person, it's better than being neutral because at least you made them feel.
Ooh.
Wow.
Hey,
Heard
the
that.
more you know.
Deep.
And you guys, we have 2 guest hosts this week. 2 for the price of 1, free.
Well,
That's what it costs to watch AfterBuzz.
Fresh from a battle back competition of myself.
That's right.
Getting in here, getting back home with Big Brother. It's Grant's Rants. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, we're happy to have you.
Happy to have you.
I
Exactly.
took notes. I'm ready. I have opinions about just about
Wait,
everyone.
is this your first time this season?
This season,
Gosh, it's
yeah.
been a year.
Yeah.
It's been a year.
He's been working. He's been busy.
Yeah.
And
but
back for
we're
a
ready.
second time this
Yes.
season, the beautiful man on the couch.
That's what we call him.
You're
Matthew Evan Paine, thank you guys for having me back.
Thank you, man on the couch.
Thank you. I had a round trip ticket back to
Oh,
the AfterBuzz
that's
Big
right.
Brother
I like that.
after show.
Well, we're happy to have you here. You
Thank
guys,
you.
we have a lot to talk about. We have a big panel.
Oh.
And sorry we started late.
Okay, one thing I want to mention. Me and Lauren talked about this before. Did you notice for the Chili's person that works at Chili's, we're so sorry that we said it was an iPad. We know it's not an iPad. Someone went off on us about that.
I know, I saw.
I laughed because I was like, we didn't mean to offend you if you work at Chili's.
No,
Wait a minute.
Oh, Lord. These people are too sensitive.
Now we're just calling people out. I will say this. I would never make fun of Chili's.
We loved it. We had a good time.
Chili's. I was supposed to go to Chili. I was going to say something I should not. I was supposed to go to Chili's yesterday. Or like this week.
Wow.
But I decided to
Chili's
go to,
is code for something else.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
No hate for Chili's.
No, not at all.
The heat is on point.
Promotional consideration for this episode provided by
Chili's.
Johnny, I have to tell you, watching the intro, I can't help but think of you imitating all of the, the different.
HouseGuests.
Jose.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The day that I was here guest hosting, you imitated,
Polly's
and then
instead.
Polly's. Yeah,
It's like a show playing.
I smile to myself every time.
That's what he does too. So you guys, before we jump into Big Brother 18, we got to talk about Big Brother 19 because it is coming much sooner than we expected. I don't know if you've heard the news, but Big Brother 19 will be available only on CBS All Access online, and it's going to air just weeks after this season airs. It's going to be a fall show. What do you guys think of that?
What do you guys think?
I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm a little nervous. I don't know. It gives me a weird feeling in my stomach.
Let's work these
Gives
feelings
me a
out.
weird feeling in my elbow.
I think because Big Brother is such a commitment to watch.
Yes.
3 nights a week.
Yes.
And I don't know that I want to go online to do it. I like recording it and fast forwarding through the commercial breaks.
I only watch it online
Oh.
because I don't have cable.
Oh.
Well, you're
know that.
very much a part of your generation, aren't you? All the kids don't have cable these days.
That's so true.
But yeah, no, it's true. I like watching it on DVR as well, and I'm sure a lot of you out there do the same thing where you watch it and you fast forward through. When you watch it online, there's no chance you can fast forward through the commercials. But maybe they'll have an option where you can.
Well, if it's all access, does that mean you have to pay to watch?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to pay for CBS All Access.
Yeah.
But it's cheap.
But
I
you know
think
what?
it's $5 a month. I think that's what it
it
is.
is.
It's like a first month free and then $5
Do you
after
remember
that.
how much the live feeds used to be? A lot more than $5.
Yeah, they were.
They were
Do you have
expensive.
all access, Johnny?
I share an account.
Okay.
Is that illegal to say?
I don't know.
Do I have it? No. Does somebody close to me have it? Maybe. And maybe I watch that person's.
Okay.
See, I worry about burnout. You know, I worry
Yes.
about burnout because it's like I said, it's such a commitment. There's a lot of personalities. We were just coming off of the summer, and I like to know where it is. I think that Big Brother is in a really good place, but you know when to expect it to be on.
I agree.
And so now it's like, well, this could be now at any time. It loses its specialty.
Did anybody watch Big Brother season 9? It was a
Oh, yeah.
winter
Yeah,
season.
I remember that.
It was during the
Writer's
writer's
strike.
strike, so they had to put reality.
Winter is
Smart,
good.
smart.
Because you have time to emotionally prepare yourself for it. Right now, we're going to come off one high and go on to another roller coaster.
Can I tell you why it wasn't good though? Because I know this sounds silly, like winter in LA
Was
really
the
isn't
pool
winter.
closed in the backyard?
But yeah, like they only were in the hot tub. Like they didn't spend much time outside. Everybody, it was weird. It was as if they cast the show very quickly because the characters were terrible, in my opinion. And it's like known as like the season that never happened. It never existed.
See, I worry about that.
And that was on television.
Right.
I mean, and by the way, Parker from season 9,
Caesar salad.
Parker from season 9 tweeted this week saying, "Yeah, everybody makes fun of our season 9, but at least we didn't go straight to DVD."
Dang.
Good burn.
Shady.
See, so you got 9 and 19. So that's no, just keeping an eye
It's the
open.
curse of the 9.
Well, most people are saying they think it's because they want to really rush the All Stars, make it season 20, make it next summer.
Well, why do they have to rush it? Why couldn't they just do it anyway?
I agree. I totally agree with that.
You don't need a bridge between the two.
No, I agree.
Even though CBS was saying they want to make a bridge, that's the whole point of doing this because digital is in.
I get it. You guys, here's the thing.
Cheap to
I don't
do.
want to be the old man saying, "Oh, I like things the way they used to be."
I know.
Because
Yeah.
I do think this is the way things are moving. We are moving to streaming and like
It's smart for them as a company, and because Big Brother does have such a loyal fan base, we're all so committed to the cause. Everyone's gonna go on there and pay. I mean, I will definitely do
and
it.
a lot of them are already plugged in watching the feeds now anyway. So there's a built-in, and a lot of people like myself last year canceled All Access as soon as the season ended. Now you've got people being like, well, I'm already paying for it. Let's watch 19. You know, I'm sure that's like a very small portion of like the overall subscribe turnover, but people are there, and I don't know if they would keep it to watch like MacGyver in the fall.
right.
Definitely.
So watch
That looks horrible.
All right. Well, we'll continue to talk about Big
Yeah.
Brother 19 throughout the rest of the season, but for now, let's talk about this exciting week on Big Brother. Overwhelming thoughts on the week before we dive into the details.
Overwhelming thoughts. Hello. Yes, I was overwhelmed. So much so that I almost lost my headset. I think that this week could have been a huge week for Paul, and I think that he didn't take it. I think that he could have overthrown Polly and gotten potentially the biggest threat out of the house, and he didn't take it. That killed me.
You don't think getting Day out was a big move?
No. I think it was predictable.
I
think it
agree.
would
Same here. I agree.
I think it would have been a bigger move to get Polly up because Polly wouldn't have expected it if Paul had put Polly up on the block as a pawn and then turned the house against Polly, which I think would have been possible if he had gone to each person and said he's a strong player, he's a great competitor, now's the time, he's not expecting it. I think it would have just. I think that would have been such a big move, but to actually, because if anyone else had won the power of veto, Paulie wouldn't have been able to take himself off, and I think that if they had been determined enough to actually win the power of veto, I think it just could have been such a different week.
Just thinking of Corey.
I know.
Oh God.
I completely agree with him. I think this could have been because Paul, as you know, I've been a Paul fan from the beginning. He is totally playing a smart game, but I thought Day is not really that much of a. She's a threat, but not that big of a threat.
No.
She doesn't win competitions or anything. It's like she's just running her mouth. But I'm like, you have Victor who's back in, and he's still in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a beast in competition.
right under the radar
He's still
once
in.
again.
I can't believe that. Or and Paul, if you got rid of Paulie, oh my God, you guys want him to win, basically.
But those two have a final too, right?
They do, but still.
I mean, he knows he can count on him. He's shown loyalty to him, even over the girl he was kind of canoodling with. So, I don't know. I think that's an aggressive and interesting move, but I think that the way he's playing now offers him some security as well.
What about you,
But
Graham?
Paul, you think Paulie will ultimately win over Paul? Is that what you're saying?
I would say yes.
I think that he has the chance to. I think
I
that
do, yeah.
he's a big enough threat that Paul should have gotten rid of him.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think Paulie, the difference between him and Paul, first of all, maybe he's a little bit stronger than him physically, but also his mental game is a little bit stronger. Paulie isn't as swayed by other people as Paul is.
Also,
I agree.
Paul getting rid of Devon means next week Paul is standing. Is blood off his hands. He's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
this week, he did so little like damage to the house as a whole. Had he overturned the house, he would have been the next big target. So I think I'm not saying that's a great thing for us as viewers to watch, but I thought it was a safe move for him, and I think he's set up for a good next couple of weeks.
See, I feel like there's so many safe moves, and it's still kind of. Someone could argue, well, it's early in the game, and perhaps those things don't really happen until the double eviction time. But I don't know. I just feel like it's like
Kind of a snooze when that happens.
Totally.
It's a little predictable with these things. No one's really making. Everyone talks about like Cody, who kept saying, "Oh, it's time for a big move," and then I don't feel like he ever made one.
No,
and I feel like
and
his
he
brothers
handed
played
over
same
the
game.
check to Derek
Yeah.
in his season,
Yeah.
and I think that these bromances are too much. You have that connection. I think that helping move each other along to a certain point in the game is great.
Well, they
I
love
think,
each other. I mean, he would never have done that.
I think that the check is more important than the bromance.
You go into
I mean,
the
I
game by
agree, but-
yourself. You know, you go in. No one. You're not playing with anybody. You
Can
walk
they
in by
find
yourself.
out if you split the money?
Yeah, you
Because
I
can't
think you
split the
can't
money.
split the money.
Because if I was doing it with you and we got to the final two, I'd
There's
just
like
like,
a whole thing about that. Like, you can't even give them any of your money.
what if I bought you a lot of gifts and then
Yeah.
made you return them all?
Yeah. Maybe.
I'm sure.
You gave me
I'm
the
sure
gift
they've
for
heard that
so
question in the interview process.
Yes.
I'm sad. I'm sad
Yeah,
to
go.
lose Devon though.
I am
Me
too.
too.
Especially
Me
as
too.
a viewer. Now, did she play the best game? Especially this last week.
No.
I watched it and I was like, you kind of deserve the situation you're in. And I hate
Totally.
to say it, but yeah,
You're
you gotta
absolutely
be
right.
smart with what you do. But yeah, as far as her diary rooms go and her social game, for whatever
Her
that
diary
was.
rooms are brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it, was, it was a good time for a short time. But
Well, this is my overwhelming thought for the week. I love Devon. She was my favorite person in the house. But this week, I was sitting there, I was like in bed, right? Like probably eating in my pajamas.
Sitting like
It's
a dog.
not-
And I know it's like, what's that like?
Pause
Okay, we're good.
Because I like get them all crunched up. Like
You were
this.
in your Snuggie, weren't you?
Yeah,
Snuggie,
it's not a snuggie.
aw.
It's a onesie. But I was thinking, okay, I love Devon. I think she is like my friend sitting next to me on the couch watching an episode of Big Brother, commenting and really funny and all that stuff. But she isn't a good player. I'm sorry. I can't believe I'm saying that because she's my favorite player, but she wasn't a good player. At the
with you.
beginning of the season, she was smart. She was lying low. She was making moves secretly. That all went away in the past couple weeks, and I think she admitted that.
She did when she was talking about Frank. That's right.
She's just not like. She just isn't cut out for this game because she is too much bark and not enough bite. Like she can't win a competition, and unlike a player like Dan Giesling or Dr. Will, she needs to win competitions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
she's
I
not
agree.
one of those players who can't
not win.
Right,
Huh?
I agree. She threw around Nicole's name to anyone that would listen all week long, constantly, and it's like obvious. I don't understand at what point she didn't know that she was in jeopardy. I kept like watching her. And I said, "Does she know? Does she realize that things are turning?" Yeah. And then there was one point in the week when I write here that she basically said like, "Oh, there's just something that's not adding up to me. I don't feel like I'm in the loop." Well, that's never good. And I was surprised that she didn't try to do damage control or really try to be proactive to turn people. Yeah, it seemed like she thought she was good. You got to be, you can never feel comfortable in Big Brother.
That's very
She's not
true.
self-aware enough in the moment. She's very self-aware after the moment ends, but in the moment she doesn't have that
'cause
awareness.
she has so much
She's too emotional that she can't see through to what's going
That's
on.
such a good
I
observation.
also want to say one more thing, and then we'll talk about the competitions in the other episodes. I'm sorry. I know I hate saying this, but these women can't freaking stick together, and the boys are like in love with each other.
I know. It happened
I mean,
already.
at the beginning of the season, they were so strong, and it was going to go their way, and all the men were getting evicted. And I just think these women are being blinded by their partners.
Yep.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Now, I just want to say,
I hate saying that because it's
true.
so awful to
You don't
it's
have
such
it-
a nasty thing to
You
say.
don't have an equal to Paulie. Paulie's an alpha male. He's a physical threat. He knows the game pretty well. But you don't have anyone.
But you
on
know
the
what?
female
Part
side
of,
that can counter that.
part of the problem is that it's that the guys band together in twos, it seems, a lot of the time. And even the women don't do that as much. Like, I think it's easier to have a strong loyalty to one person of the same sex or any, like even opposite sex than it is to have to like 5 people. So I don't know.
yeah.
Well, do you remember a couple seasons ago when it was Lane and Brittany had their connection and they were loyal to each other, and then it turned out that Lane was more loyal to the boys than he was to her, which was her blind
It's
side,
happened in
right?
season 5 with Drew and what's her face? Michelle? What was that girl's name? She was on All Stars too.
Yeah,
Diane.
Diane.
Drew and
Speaking
Diane.
of Michelle, can they stop calling her Mish?
Yeah, Mish.
You Mish. Oh my god, and the spleen.
Yeah.
Or the kidney.
Kidney,
I
yeah.
was just saying one last thing about Day. Just kind of, and like people in here, to make sure everybody in here, they're all happy that she made it as far as she did.
Right.
She made it to the jury, and many of them are agreeing with you that she wasn't the greatest player. But some people say that she was a good player. I see both in here. Some people think she was a good player. But dug herself into a hole.
She was a better player this season.
Yes, she was.
I'd say
I didn't like her
most
last
improved.
season. Totally most improved.
Do we give her credit for getting Frank out? I mean,
Yes.
is that safe? So that's
pretty good.
That's something.
Yes, I give credit for getting Frank out, but I love Frank, and I didn't watch last week's episode of the after show, but I'm sad to see that he's gone. Like, I wish that he had at least made it one more week to jury.
Interesting. Okay.
It's even more
I
so
was
now
alright with
Kumbaya without Frank and Day.
Yeah,
I
but
was fine with him going.
I
time.
didn't like Frank at first, but I thought he really made amends in an honest and vulnerable way, and so I appreciated that after he had been disrespectful to the women. And then I really started to like him because he added interest to the house. He was playing the game. He was fun to
Yes.
watch.
Yeah.
Like when he was having that not confrontation, but a heated conversation with Paul, and just gameplay started to come up more so his last week than ever before. But again, I think he waited way too long to start playing the game.
Yeah, or he was playing it before, but maybe he had too much confidence. And you need to have, I think, a little bit more fear in order to really get in there.
Did Frank make it to jury his first season?
Yes, he made it far his first season, yeah?
Yeah.
He almost...
He was with Mike Boogie, though, right? And
That's
they had
right.
a little
Was he
alliance.
But then
top
Mike got-
5 or so?
I don't know.
Say that?
Top 8. I was gonna say he was one. Like he made it far. He made it really far.
Let's talk now about Sunday's episode. Let's go back to the beginning of the week. So in Sunday's episode, that is when we saw Natalie get the care package, yes?
Yes, the care package that now we're going to get once a week for 5 weeks from America. We vote on it, and it will contain an advantage. You have to open it in front of anybody.
Yes. I like that.
I did too.
Yeah.
I like that. And the package that she got was a never not pass, so it doesn't affect the
And
game at all.
socks. And socks.
Cool.
I don't know, it was so boring. It was like, oh, okay, so just eat slop every day. I'm like, well, that's...
They don't even show him eating slop.
They
that much.
used to, and I
It's
loved
stupid.
it.
loved it
It's a
too.
stupid gimmick they
Yeah.
still
Yeah,
do.
and sometimes they don't determine who. We don't see it. Maybe that's on like Big Brother After Dark on who becomes the have-nots, but that's not a highlight.
They've cut
anymore.
things
Well,
on.
sometimes
Right.
it's if it's an endurance competition like this week,
Right.
the first 3 to drop. The last endurance competition was the first 4 to
Yeah.
drop.
But we
But
don't
they
get
don't
to see him
shout it out.
suffering, and that's
No.
what we
Yeah.
want.
Right.
Yeah. Well, because it's not
Without-
about living together anymore.
Without right.
Right, you're right.
They
Which
used to
I'm
do
okay
cold
with.
showers.
And they still
Yeah.
do it. They just don't show
do.
it.
I'd like to see it. And
Yeah.
I remember they used to come in from the backyard into the kitchen, and there would be like the big
Yes.
what is
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Big
yeah.
pot with the
Slop
slop.
pot.
And America would choose the food
Yeah.
that they would
Mix into it.
coincide. Yeah.
The last time the last time the have not thing stuck with me is season 8 when Jen ate the turkey burger when she wasn't supposed to. Did you
remember
watch
that.
season 8?
I don't
What
remember.
happened?
Oh my god,
That's a
Jen ate the
throwback.
turkey burger.
Wait, Genius?
Yeah, so Genius, okay, so Evil Dick was burning her with her cigarettes,
Yes.
she said, but it was like probably her.
Yes.
She was
Johnny.
She ripped up his cigarettes and threw and like poured like bleach or something on him and threw
remember
them
that.
away and got in a ton of trouble. Like they bought Dick more cigarettes because she did that and she had to like pay production or something. And then after she ripped up the cigarettes, she ran into the kitchen and just started cooking a fucking turkey burger.
remember that.
And she was eating it and everyone was like, Jen, you can't do that. And she's like, fuck it, I'm doing it. Pardon my French. But she said, fuck it, I'm doing it. And it was so great. It was this great like moment. And now I don't care about have-nots.
Here's the thing. You said something a second ago that I almost kind of disagree with because I mean, you're right about that. It's not about the living together anymore. But I wish it was. And Sunday's episode actually gave me a piece of the old.
What part?
Paul's had a house. You get to see his room. He read his
Oh,
letter.
yeah.
He read his letter from his.
Yeah.
I was like, we're actually seeing. I missed that part. I mean, and actually had a lot of talk that day. People were talking about who's going to block, and it was like it reminded me of the old Big Brother where they
Yeah.
actually focused on the living together. I kind of missed that actually.
Yeah.
I do, definitely. There's if you think about it, how much time do you really see in one episode if you boil it down of them
Yeah.
living compared to how it all started?
But how it
You know what
started,
I mean?
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, we got to see the Zakiya and Polly fight, which was, I
Yes.
think, an example of them living and trying to coexist. We got to see Nicole falling out of the hammock.
Oh, so that's
I loved that.
Yeah. Corey being an idiot with
There-
the
That's
music.
easy.
What do we think about Corey? Like he's nothing, is he?
Useless, totally useless.
He's a
to the
robot.
game.
I
He's
think
a good
gonna
body.
go really far because I think that Nicole is going to get out. They're going to target Nicole,
Okay.
and then they'll forget about him for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she's a bigger threat than him.
She's a bigger threat. Interesting.
Has he
just-
won
she's
anything?
smarter.
Has he,
He hasn't done anything, has he?
has he done anything on
He
the show?
literally fell over the line.
I thought
That
he
was
won-
so funny.
I thought he won a.
I don't think he's won anything.
He won a veto, didn't he?
I thought he won a
He,
veto.
he won a veto and pulled himself off. That was in the
I'm
past
going
couple
to
of
use
weeks.
the
So-
veto on myself.
When he
Wait,
was
what?
a roadkill nominee.
Yeah.
And he
so
pulled
bland.
himself off and
I
then.
miss Roadkill. I
someone
like
else.
that twist.
I like
Yeah,
Roadkill
I'd
too.
be okay
Yeah.
if they kept that going. That's the one thing that I was like, all right. I'd
better
like to
than-
see that in the
yeah.
care package.
Do you remember they used to show that even them cleaning the house together? This
Yeah.
place is a mess, and then they do like the big
Yeah.
deep clean of the
Yeah,
house.
I remember that.
And then shortly after, they always have that one where they tear the house apart.
I
Oh yeah.
love, and they brought that back maybe last season or the
I think
season
so.
before. I hope they do it this season. The veto where they had to hide the vetoes
yeah.
and then run around and. I love that competition. That is such a good competition.
I said Corey won veto once when he was up.
All right,
Everybody's saying with
I can see his like
Alright.
strong muscles like
6'5".
in the diary
see
room,
why.
like holding up the veto, being like, "Yes, me."
You
I
know
mean, he's
how
good looking, but he's just boring to me. Like he's not really
Oh
doing
yeah.
anything.
No.
I mean, I'm kidding. I'm just saying what he said. I mean.
I was
So on Sunday's episode, we actually saw the end of the HOH competition
Yes.
from Thursday, where they had to roll the ball down, and Paul got a 21. Yeah, and
And it's funny. Natalie had perfect scores when she was doing the practice. And then
over and
Three
over
times.
it was
again.
number 2 and just like dropped to number 2 or whatever. I was like, oh.
I don't know. Maybe it was superstitious, but I thought if she would have taken the red ball on the third time, she would have made it.
Yeah.
But it's because she did it on the fourth, and that's not a holy number. She was screwed.
Oh.
Okay.
it's not a holy number.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yep.
She's not Catholic, clearly.
Clearly.
Your lipstick is perfect, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, it looks great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kylie, no, I'm kidding. It's Anastasia.
Anastasia Beverly Hills?
Yes.
Oh my God.
She's wonderful.
RuPaul.
I
Yeah.
met her. Really, really liked her.
Looks
Oh, you met her
fantastic.
actually?
Thank
Wow.
you.
Wow.
That's so sweet.
Anything else about the HOH competition?
How's your
you wanna talk
lipstick?
about?
I would do
Let us know.
horrible in that. I would just do horrible.
Yeah, I thought it would look
whole
like a
thing-
hard comp.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to throw anything like that, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. The HOH comps, I want to see them do something other than
Physical.
Physical, yeah.
That's what we were saying last week.
We were saying last
because
week.
Where their
Certain
number, they
people
used to have
have
memory.
advantage.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love puzzles. I love those. Give me something that they're like.
It's
thinking
almost
of.
like they're trying to give it to the guys.
Right.
And I mean, no
Yeah.
offense, but men are physically stronger than us. There's nothing we can do
Right.
about that. It's just true.
You just set yourself up for hate mail.
I'm not saying like that we can't
I
be
think
strong,
endurance
but
comps
it,
are usually better for women.
yeah. That's true,
Those
but
big
like
guys
the
can't
running
hang on.
thing, you know, like I felt that was very
Yeah,
unfair.
Like you have
Well, yeah.
longer legs.
Yeah.
Exactly. Someone like Victor, who's super tall. Paulie, of course. I think, didn't Paulie get every single one?
I think.
Speaking of Victor, I'm still on the fence. Does
Yeah.
Victor have a good body or no?
I think so.
I think he has a good body, so I don't like him. So I think he has a good body.
I don't dislike him.
He bugs.
Him coming back to the
like him
house
for
has been
some
like a
reason.
You like him?
non-issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like him for some
I
reason.
feel like he had 2 weeks off from the house, and now he's
Yeah.
back. Like I think he just got a little mini vacation. And
He
came
reflected.
But he's
No,
but he's a threat because he's a
Mine's
good
better.
competition. He's good in like need to get him
Back.
out.
He reflected.
He reflected. They said 4 means in Korean death.
Oh,
See, I knew it.
There's no 4th floor anywhere and things like
I'm
that.
3% Korean.
Something like that.
So when was, I'm sorry, I'm just like trying to move it along because we started so late
Yeah.
today. When did we see the Zakiya and Paul fight? Because I thought that
I could
Paulie
watch that
fight.
all day long.
Because I thought that was
Wednesday.
really interesting, and that was one of the reasons I just brought up the whole like men latch on to men, women latch on to men. point.
She's got a little crack of crazy in her shell, you know?
See,
think
I
so?
was actually on her side for this one.
Me too.
No, but I love it, though. I approve. I love it. I love it.
She's like, she's like, I don't need to hold hands. I don't need to sleep in bed with you. I mean, she didn't say that, but like, she's not trying to go to brunch. Did you see that episode of Girls when Hannah's like, I don't want to go to brunch, okay? She's not trying to go to brunch. But
I like it.
I think he's doing that thing that a lot of guys do to women where they take you all the way down the road and they're like, bye,
Yep.
and then walk away. And it's like, wait, no, there's this great lyric from an Ingrid Michaelson song where it's, you walk right up to me and you ask me to dance and then you walk away. And I think that's exactly what he did. He took her down the road and then he was like, yo, I got my bro Paul, I'm going to go sleep with him now.
yeah.
I just thought he was such an ass when she said, and you know, you can have the bed up here and I'll just go down. He was like, that's what I said I was already going to do.
She was like, okay, bitch.
Yeah, why don't you relax, Polly?
Right.
Be an adult and go by Paul.
Oh, yes. But you know what? Though she's on his ass all day. There's nowhere for him to hide. So of course he's gonna feel that way.
Is she on his
Are
ass?
you
No.
watching
He
the
said
feeds?
that because he's
That's what
always
he
on
said,
top of
yeah.
me.
Well,
Like, she's always
but
on
they're
top of me.
all on top of each other in general, anyway.
Right,
But he
that's
could have
how-
done it in a nicer way.
It's different circumstances than someone who's normally dating or they live close. You know,
I
they're-
thought that their makeup was sweet when they hugged each other. She
Yeah.
walked into the room and they hugged each other because I think that that's very real. I think that's how people can make up with each other and it doesn't even need to be spoken. The I'm sorry's always. But then when she was laying on him and he was like twirling her hair and then he showed his colors again. What happened? What exactly
Well,
happened?
she talks about putting Paul up. People will think of Paul. He's like, oh, okay. And then he runs to Paul and outside when they're playing pool. And
She
it's like,
knew too.
She knew. Yeah.
And they have no loyalty there.
No.
I mean, if he's going to run and tell those kind of
Right.
secrets to Paul, but Paul,
Paul and Victor. I think it was Victor too.
then he's lets the guys
and
way
Paul
more.
did nothing about it.
Nope.
And do you think it's just because
He irritates me.
Paulie knows he has
can't stand
control
him.
of Paul?
Aw.
Well, also, I don't know that Zakiya's like the big bad wolf here.
No, she's
kinda,
not.
Like, not threatening.
I
Yeah,
heard
but you gotta get rid of her at some point. And if you get rid of her, how much blood is gonna be on someone's hands? She's kind of an easy one.
I would just like to see big moves from somebody, even if it's
Yes.
her and she can manage to do something, anything.
I do agree.
I don't want it to be the usual suspects here. I want to be surprised.
If Bridget is the target this week, I'm not coming next week.
She is a real wounded animal, though.
It's so stupid. Like, first of all, this girl has zero stage presence. Second of all, I don't know how she got cast on this show. And third of all, she's not a threat. Stop spending time on her. I'm so sick of how much airtime she gets.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
about to give her 30 more seconds. I was talking to someone. I was talking to someone the other day, and I said I don't buy the sweet as pie routine from her because when I said it, I didn't buy it. And then I was watching her last night, and I thought maybe this is real. Maybe she really is that nice. Is anyone that nice?
Yeah. I
haven't
mean,
met
I think
them.
she's not a real person in the way that, like, she's a cartoon, but
Like
I think
Dora
that
the
that's
Explorer.
authentic for her. You know what I
Okay.
mean? She's not aware of how it comes off. Yeah, like Dora the Explorer. But the thing with Meech, That's what won me over for her, because Michelle was being so mean girl in that moment, and she was trying to have a real conversation with her, and that's when she won me over. Just as a person, not necessarily a huge fan of her as a player, but that's how I feel.
Okay.
They are so boring. The whole group is boring.
Are you guys bored this season?
A little bit with some of them.
I feel like they could just pluck the girls off, most of them, like except for Nicole and.
Oh, she can go. She's whining every minute she can. I don't like her.
This is why I said Day is my favorite player.
Me too. Exactly.
Yeah. You know, they had the picture of all the current house guests for that America's Package or whatever the hell it is. And so, and I looked at them like, who out of these people do I want to win? I don't mind Victor. I like Michelle, but
I am shocked, by the way, Natalie won.
Yeah.
I didn't think people cared about
there's
that.
no one else on there that I'm like,
don't.
oh, they deserve it. They're playing it. There's no one I was like, they're a standout. And I really don't want to see Paulie win. I just don't want to see him win.
Natalie's nice. It's just,
I guess he's okay. Yeah.
I think Paul is playing the best game.
I think so too. I think
Paul,
Paul.
I
really
never
good.
liked him.
But he's played a good
And
game.
I don't agree with you
What
on
am I-
this whole or
What am I
whoever
missing?
said he didn't make a big move this week. I think you all said that at the beginning, and I do. I think getting Day out is a big move because she is a loose cannon.
and he covered all of his tracks.
And she
Let me
covers tracks,
rephrase. I
Did
think
cover
it
tracks.
is a big move getting Day out. I think it would have been a bigger move to get Polly out.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I agree, but he wasn't gonna do that. You know,
No,
I don't
I
even
understand
think
that.
Sorry, I know, but I just don't even think
yeah.
that would have been smart for him. I think that would have been getting his closest guy out. I don't know.
He's my closest guy.
What am I missing with Paul? What am I missing with him? I just don't see it. I'm not
Well,
interested.
We
I
had
don't get
some
it.
insight into Paul last night, which, by the way,
Yes.
when
Yeah.
Julie did it was going into commercial break, and she was like, when we come back, we're going to see your boy Paul's house and meet his parents.
Yeah.
She called him your boy.
boy.
And then they came back from commercial, and she did it again, but how great.
The hashtag.
I know your boy.
You got to meet Paul's parents,
And his best friend.
his best friend, and then the girl.
Yeah.
His best friend looked like a 20-year-old older version of him.
Yeah.
Like him in the future.
Was I the only one who thought that the best friend is in love with him? Did anyone get
Yeah,
that?
kind of
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, did he admit to being jealous?
Yeah.
Yeah, he admitted to being jealous, but
Yes.
then I'm wondering if Paul is in love with Polly.
Yeah, I thought that. Or vice versa. I think they both want to get it in.
Do you?
Nothing would
Okay,
surprise
I wouldn't be
me.
surprised either.
Nope.
It
Well, they're
crossed my
sleeping in the
mind.
same bed. They're so loyal to each other. I don't know. You
Nicole.
guys have more insight than me, but
Polly could have been using Zakiya, taking her up to that point that he needed her.
that would be diabolical.
It
Well, they're
would.
saying online that
Season 5, honey.
Yeah, that's true. They're saying online though that he's doing that. That he's saying all the feeds he was a total real dick to her on the feeds, and that he's not really into her at all for real.
Okay, I knew this was gonna come up. We're gonna get comments, and I'm not gonna give a shit when I read them about you don't understand the relationship. That means you don't watch the feeds, honey. Oh, I saw Zakiya gyrating up on Paul Lee. I saw her gyrating up on Paul Lee. Okay, I did watch it. Thank you so much. But let me just say.
Don't get
Well-
hateful. It's mostly good people.
Let
out
me
there.
just say.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's really calling you out.
No one cares. They're all nice. They're watching us. Thank you for watching.
But let me just say, you're right. We aren't there. There's a lot going on here
We've explained it a million times. Let's move on.
that
Yes.
we aren't gonna talk.
No, that's it. I'm the first to admit I don't watch the live feeds. I watch the CBS show Big Brother. I don't believe it makes me any less of a fan.
Right, I agree
No,
with you too.
you're a
I
fan
just
of
like
the show.
I like to be surprised on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays about what has gone on since I haven't been tuning in.
Hashtag
It's a
Sassy
little,
Johnny.
yeah, it's a little bit more surprising because I did the live feeds and I didn't get the most out of it. I watched all that and I was up on
Just
every
above that,
minute
Right.
because then when the shows came out, I knew well this one's definitely going home. It was very predictable, but yeah, just to watch CBS is a little bit more exciting. Yeah.
Last night I turned on Pop TV for the first time this season,
okay.
and I watched 3 minutes, and there was something going on, and I shut it right off, and I thought, well, now I know something
Yep.
Yeah.
for Sundays, and I'd rather watch on the show. It's a journey for me.
See,
Oh,
if I
Johnny's
had Pop, I would look at it.
So then let's jump to.
I just hope to fall in love on this journey.
we do have to talk about Tuesday and the veto.
Yeah, let's
honey
talk about
bun.
that.
The veto.
Victor's pigtails. He's all in his pigtails.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And Paul likes the sound of music.
That's
That
right.
was a
Everybody
fun
kept saying,
fact.
that he likes. Wait, he likes the sound of music. I'm like, just because he looks a certain way, he can like anything. I mean, it's just they're all hashtag angry mangs.
Angry.
I like that.
Angry.
Mangry. Oh my god.
Hashtag mangry.
We're starting that.
So let's talk about the veto. Help me out here.
Okay, so it's a track meet.
Yeah.
And so Bridget, Paul, and Paulie played. Corey, Victor, and Natalie played.
Right, and we mentioned this earlier that Paulie was the one, Paulie. God, I'm getting the Pauls confused.
I know, they're just.
Paulie was on hitting those dang buttons.
He was.
Yeah.
He got him.
killing
He
it.
got them
It
all
was
on.
fast. He had to kneel down, then get up and did the whole go, and had different words that kind of came up.
That
But
would drive
I
me
know.
crazy.
Be so screwed.
Yeah, forget
you
it.
could jump to or not catch the.
Well, I couldn't stay concentrated. I'd be thinking of all things I have to do. Like I don't have to
I
do
need
anything in the
my
house, but
glasses for that. Spectacles.
My mind was elsewhere. They'd be, oh, it's time to go. Long missing.
I know.
Well, Homegirl
Long
said she did. She was. I forgot which one it was. She said she was in cloud. Her head was in the
think it was
clouds,
Shell.
and she missed the.
Well, and Corey.
Again, useless.
A lot of people would say, "Well, he's 6'5", he's so tall." That don't mean anything.
No, it doesn't mean you have to
means he
fall
should be
over.
better.
It's just like you just don't fall over, and you're not 87. So
Pop TV is a channel where Big Brother After Dark is on. Someone asked what it was.
Oh, because I just mentioned Pop TV.
Yeah, they're like, "What did they go? What is
Just
that?"
like that.
What do they think Julie talks about every Thursday?
Do we think Julie is really interested this
Oh,
season?
I'm so glad you asked that
I
because
love
that
talking
was.
about Julie.
Wait,
I love
why?
it.
That
She
was-
seems like she's sleeping through the season. Like she's not as sassy. as she
I
is.
have always doubted that she was actually a viewer until last night when she was interviewing Davon.
Yes.
And I don't remember exactly what the conversation was. Davon was talking about something with Frank.
Right.
And she said, and it was day this. And then Julie pulled her card away and asked the question like she'd been watching. You'd have to go back to see
Okay.
it, but I was like, oh, she watches the show.
Oh, she watches it.
Yeah.
Do you follow her on social media?
No.
Yeah, she watches it.
But she just seems she just seems like she's not as I don't know. But I mean, I don't know.
And like last season,
She was in it.
or not last season, 2 seasons ago. She was like up on Derek's dick. Like
Yeah,
she
I know.
loved
Oh, no, I know.
Derek. And I was like, Julie, you're like the host. You should maybe back off a little bit. Yeah, no, she watches it.
And then Davon was crying, and
Also Kia.
she said something about how some of her tears were real, but some of them were produced to make other house guests feel bad. And Julie was like, "Well, it worked for Vanessa, so it could have worked for you." Coming up next, I was like, "Oh, it worked!"
I didn't. No, because I just like sometimes like last season, Julie also was on top. People on top was getting all snarky with people, and I feel like she's not as snarky this season.
Would it kill them to switch up the script a little bit? I mean, I could recite what she's going to say.
But
at the beginning.
first-
all
But
those things.
and that's the one thing that they maintain.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's very
the Chen
stale
bot.
at this point.
isn't
in
that
my
part of the
opinion.
joy though?
Yeah.
Chambot.
That you know what she's going to say, and it's so predictable. And then when you have
So
those glimmers of
predictable.
realness, it's so much cooler because she literally changes from her Chembot voice into like somewhat of a normal human back to the bot voice.
She's a fantastic host, I think, and very well dressed.
Oh, she's dressed.
You know what
She's
drives me
dressed.
crazy when they walk down the hallway? Well, so and so is looking to get this one up. Let's see where their vote falls. They are talking all week. It's like at this point, I feel like we all kind of know where people are gonna go. They have the whole episode leading up to who they're gonna, the night before and all that. I'm never that surprised when someone casts their vote. I'm never like, whoa, I never expected that.
When
it's
do
not
they
a question.
choreograph their little
Yeah,
dances
that's
or
a-
like
yeah.
high five,
Yeah,
like
I
down the
I
hallway?
think they do some sort of rehearsal.
So they do know ahead of
Seats go
time.
out early. Yeah.
Okay, they do. Okay, they know what's on.
When they're produced, when they have to do the nomination ceremony and all that, it's just very I just think they need to mix it up.
For the nomination ceremony, when they turn the key, I would like to hear their name, or at least see their name underneath the picture. My first nominee is,
Yeah.
and then you see the picture. I'd like to. I liked before they
My first
got,
nominee is. My second nominee is Natalie, James. I've nominated you
and they
too.
put the
Yeah.
thank you, and they used to pass the what was it, a keychain?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun. Did you
Yes.
ever
Not a
watch when they
keychain,
had the big round?
I
thing
miss it.
around?
I miss it.
Yeah.
That was more dramatic.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think so too.
They pass the key on to the next person. I
Yeah.
miss that part. I
Me
miss
too.
it.
Me too. Bring back
the keys.
the keys.
Bring back the key.
But now in your Australian voice, it would be.
I mean, bring back the keys. Please, bring them back. Anyway,
I'm your biggest fan, by the way, if anyone was wondering.
We have to mention
What?
before we go, of course, where that James slipped when they were talking before Day left.
In bed.
B and V should go next. I was like, I think I chuckled on
downstairs in that
I
room.
did chuckle on that one.
I thought you meant slipped. I was like, when
Oh no, sorry, something like
when he and Davon was like, wait, what?
what?
Yeah.
If I were her, I would have gone off. Because
Yeah.
she was so screwed at that point.
I know.
She knew she was going home. I think if I were her, I would have just lost it. So I'm proud of her for keeping
Yeah,
it
she kept together. But when he said, he goes, well, who's next? B and V. Well, B's Bridget.
So that means I'm.
I know. It's like,
Well, he deserves it. He wasn't loyal to her, so too bad.
And James is saying his diary thing. Well, I mean, you tell so many lies in here, you can't keep up.
It's really weird. I think about this a lot. Like, is sometimes it a lost cause? Like, was it a lost cause for Devon this week?
I think she could have spun it.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't she have spoken to James more aggressively? Because would it really have made that much of a difference if James voted for her? And then she probably could have won one more person over.
Yeah.
Remember James was saying, I might give her a vote anyway. He told her I might give her a vote anyway if she doesn't get any. So
I would never work with James in this game.
No,
He doesn't have that. His word means nothing.
No, his word means
He doesn't
nothing.
want to make big moves. He's all talk. I
He's
didn't
a
enjoy him
people
last
pleaser.
time. Yeah.
Well, and more than anything, like.
Yeah, maybe this one.
He's not. Yeah, he just doesn't do anything in general.
And
Like,
what do we think about Natalie latching on to him and doing whatever he does?
yeah, she
as a-
literally said, "I'm doing whatever you do. I'm
Yep.
voting however you're voting."
There was a nice moment in the bathroom with all the girls were having a little chit chat, and Davon was trying to find where all their votes were. I think that could have been a major game changer if she had said to them, "Why
Ladies.
don't we?
Yes.
Why don't we have a ladies' alliance?" And
Yeah.
I think the only girl who wouldn't have been part
Bridget.
of that alliance. No, I think they probably could.
Really?
Bridget's standing alone. No
What?
one.
No,
would
Bridget
vote
said I hate
anybody.
her though because she kept saying I don't want to do anything with her.
But wouldn't that be amazing?
It'd be great. Oh no, it would be amazing.
I think the
yeah.
only girl that wouldn't have taken part in it would have been Natalie because of James.
But okay,
No.
so I think.
I think Natalie said she would have voted to keep Devon
Yeah,
in that
James said
moment.
So
She
she
ended-
could have gotten James, Natalie. She got Michelle's, and she got Zakia. She just needed one more vote.
Right.
I think she could have spent the week really hustling for Nicole's vote. I think she could say, "Look,
yeah.
I know things have been bad. All this shit went down, but
Yeah.
We could band together.
I was surprised that she didn't have like a one-on-one with her and just try to level the playing field with Nicole.
because they used to be friends."
I
Yeah,
think
they're doing
I
so
think
much
Davon's
talking.
stubbornness took over, and probably
Yeah.
didn't want to grovel.
Stubbornness and then probably
But
pain from feeling like the house turned on her.
What was that, Johnny?
It's $500,000.
I know it's tough because on this season they all seem to just go
just
with the.
want it.
They all just seem to go with the house.
Yes,
So it's
boring.
it's very hard to turn people, especially at this. I don't know. It's gonna change once they start having these double evictions. I think it's all gonna
about
change.
that. I've actually the one thing about this season I've really been liking is that it's not unanimous votes. And that's tough. It's tough to say, yeah, oh yeah, you're here, and I didn't vote for you last week. Sorry. You know, that's tough. It was so much easier in like boring seasons, like season 15, where it's like, we're going to make a unanimous vote. And then you go, okay, or else if I don't, I'm going to look like the asshole.
Some of us
but
think
it's
that
2 against 8. I mean,
someone thinks that Victor could have got on Day's side. You think that's true?
No,
I don't think so. I'm sorry. I don't think.
No,
I don't think-
definitely not.
He's with the guys.
he's with the
Yeah.
guys.
He's safe. He's not going. He's not going to do. He's not going to
you shouldn't
change.
do anything. Don't do anything.
Exactly. Stay
Yeah.
quiet. Let's not say anything.
There's a lot of man love going on.
Yeah.
Yes. And you're right. And I'm sorry, Johnny. Actually, I agree with you from earlier. You said it happens every season. These girls don't stick together.
Polly and Victor had a hug that lasted too long. Did anyone see that? It was a shirtless hug.
I think they're all gay.
I
besides
didn't
James.
want to be the first to say it.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I've always thought Corey was
Corey,
gay.
me too.
Yeah.
Except
I
except
thought
they
so
did
too.
show him kissing Nicole, but I guess
Well,
they
it doesn't
showed.
mean anything.
No, I know. Like you and I were kissing before the show
Yeah,
started.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make out with you as soon as this show
I
wraps.
can't wait.
no,
Can
I
we
have a
can we
boyfriend.
start rolling
Yeah.
credits?
Johnny and I have kissed.
And
After
even
it came out.
Do you remember Jose complimented / commented on Frank's behind?
Yeah.
And he was like, "You've got a big butt," and Frank was like, "Yeah."
There was
was
this
like-
great live feed moment where Paulie was chained. Was
Chained.
Was
That's what it sounded like you said.
trying to get this fish, trying to stop a fish from dying. He was like trapped in the fish tank.
Oh yeah.
And him and Zaki were in bed, and he was hardly wearing anything. And it is, go look it up. It's great.
You saw his peen.
It's on YouTube. You did not see
Can you send me the link after the show?
Now, my thought is, I was always told that
Thank you, Johnny.
the younger generation,
Sorry, I'm just getting a little warm
that the
again.
younger generation, the sexuality is fluid. That's what I was told. I don't know, I'm old, so I don't know what that means.
I mean, I think that that's probably true to an extent, but I think most people tend toward one direction.
Okay, you
The
guys tell me.
band.
Last season towards the end on the live feeds, Austin said that he was fluid, but they never played any of that because they wanted to play off the relationship that he had with one
With
of
those
those
two
twins.
boring
Those twins.
twins.
So let's be,
Liz and Julia.
let's be thankful that that trio is
it's not
nowhere
on.
near this show.
I'm
right
pretty
now.
sure those twins were also on The Bachelor the last season. The same boring blondes.
Right. And on The
Yeah.
Bachelor in Paradise this year.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Batch and parasites.
That's right.
How long have you been waiting on that one?
It just came to me.
I love
Good
it.
one. That's a good one.
What else? Anything? I mean, there's so much we don't talk about on this show.
You
So
know what? Some
else?
things are better left unsaid.
Yeah, that's so real.
Well, except the HOH is going on right now. I don't actually this time. I don't know who won.
Who do you?
I don't
Oh, you know
either.
already?
Should we make?
don't know.
Last
Is it
year I
too
know.
early to
Last
make
week I knew.
predictions?
No.
Or who we'd like to see
you
go?
guys can say who you would like.
Well, it's double
to see.
eviction
I'm
this
gonna
week.
keep
It's
quiet.
double eviction this week,
Right.
so next week. So
Now you say
Devon-
that, Johnny. Do you not have one, or you don't care to share it?
I just know who wins, so I
Oh.
feel like that will color my prediction.
Oh,
How about this?
okay.
Let's go back in time and I'll tell you who I would have wanted to win.
okay.
Well, then we
Oh,
know
Oh
that
no,
we
no!
know they
Don't
did
say
it.
anything,
Yeah, because then we know they didn't.
because then we might
No.
think that it's not going.
No,
to
I don't
them.
think that's true at all.
But all of us had that reaction.
No, I will tell you, like in my mind, I hit.
Regardless
the
of
person.
if the person won.
Nothing's
Okay,
changed.
okay, that's
Okay,
fine.
okay.
Okay. So, who wants to go first?
Okay.
Oh, I'm not listening.
Predictions.
Oh, you're not?
He has headphones on.
I don't want to say it anymore now either. I don't want to play this game.
Don't play
This
this
one
game.
always actually makes me feel stressed. I get anxiety every time we make
too.
predictions.
Yeah, I know. Well, Davon warned what's his face, Victor.
Victor.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, at
about
the
the
end.
double eviction. So I
Victor,
mean, unless if he does some serious damage control, I don't know. But if I were
His name is
you
an
think he
eviction.
really-
I'd
Hold
like
on.
to see Victor and Zakia.
Go home.
I think so.
Well, you know what? My prediction is this: Bridget's gonna fall victim to one of these exits.
Yeah, I think so, too.
She's an
I
easy
agree.
one to write off, so
Yes.
she's done. So, all right,
I agree.
whatever.
The
I
goose
agree.
is cooked.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like Michelle. I want to see Michelle win an HOH. I want to see what she would do. She's kind of the only one that, because she's a super fan. She's kind of the only one that kind of like I'm really interested in really watching. I like Saki. I think she's beautiful, but I don't know what she would do with Power though at all.
I'm really curious
Give
who
it to
has.
Paulie.
I'm really curious who has the round trip ticket. I'm really curious.
You know what? I think the person who has the round trip ticket is Paulie. I feel like he just would have the luck. He's got the looks.
He's not worried. He's
what
not
happens
worried.
if it's final two?
Well, they expire at a certain
No, it
time.
expires.
It expires.
Yeah. So I wonder if we'll ever know. You know?
Yeah, we
Right
might
now.
not. See
Well,
it.
they'll reveal it at the finale if it's one of the final two, I'm sure. And the person who had it, and let's open them, along with the
I hope so.
America's Favorite House.
I was
Those
hoping.
finales are usually pretty quick.
I was
hope they
hoping
do it.
Davon was going to have the. I was hoping she'd have
I
it.
know.
too.
I had a feeling she would. I just knew her game was done. Just
Yeah.
feel-
Yes.
Before I found out who won, and this does not change a thing.
Okay.
I wanted Michelle, I wanted Victor,
Very
and I
nice.
wanted Zakia. Because what I want
of those
is
three
a
to
little
win.
bit of a shift in the like boys club. And I know Victor is
yeah.
part of the boys club. The reason I picked Julie Chen to come in and do an interview with her.
You know what? We have a couple connections. I think we could make it happen. So we're
Ooh.
going to start working a little bit harder
Okay.
on this, my dear listener and viewer. And we're going to try to get some people in. I think it'd be really fun, too, to
Lauren.
do a slop taste.
I want a sample
Yes.
slop.
Me
Yeah.
too.
My
Sometimes
friend
we haven't
Caitlin
dressed
who
up
works
this
on
season.
there.
Oh, we have just season
There's
either.
a few people we know who kind of work either there or in the periphery, so we're going to see what we can do to bring you some exclusives right here at AfterBuzz TV.
Here's the other thing I want to say before we leave. Please tweet at me, at Lauren, and at James Lott Jr. telling us who you want to see us dress up as, because we still haven't dressed up this
We have
season.
this season.
And it can include people who've left.
Yeah. And I want to thank the viewers out there who got me, who were tweeting out all the people. We had Matt Hoffman on for season 12 last week. He came on and we got a chance to talk to him. He was great. Wasn't he great? He was great.
Great.
He
It was a
Skyped
good
in.
interview, yeah.
Yeah, he Skyped in. And so we're going to try and get more of them in here. So yeah, talk to them. Tell them. Come on the show.
Yeah, Brittany Lampka, way to go.
Yeah, Brittany Lampka, you're the girl, so we gotta just keep talking to
Guest
him.
booker, Brittany Lampka.
Yes, she is a guest booker, but yeah, bring us some slop too. Want some slop?
You guys, thank you so much for watching. It was really good, but pretty bad because gar. I'm working on it, okay? You can find me, Jonny Manganello, at
so good.
Jonny Mangs on Twitter and Instagram. James, you alright?
Jonny,
James
do
cracking
it for one more second. It's so good.
What do I say?
I Steven drink it now.
Previously on Big Brother. Brother, I'm working on it.
It's very good.
Now I'm overthinking it.
It does.
Now it sounds like BBUK. And if you miss Frankie Grande and you like Aubrey O'Day and you want to see a
They're on
total
there.
disaster, I'm watching it. It's so entertaining. If you get bored with this, flip over to that. Look over on YouTube or wherever. There's all hidden places online. It is so over the top and so entertaining. It's a
What is
different
it?
game. BBUK.
Big Brother, Celebrity
Big Brother.
Can you
Yeah.
find it?
Done and done.
Yes.
Can I find it online?
Yeah, it is so.
Aubrey O'Day and
Aubrey
him are
O'Day
pretty
loves
close.
some reality
And Renee
TV.
Graziano from Mob Wives is
Yes,
on there. It's
I heard.
just so.
Have you guys been
It's
watching that?
ridiculous.
Famously
Celebrity-
Single?
Oh my god, it's
I watched
so
one
good.
episode.
It's you need to watch the
Yeah.
other 6.
Hey, are you watching that awful reality show
Okay,
about,
guys, we gotta wrap.
Donald
Okay,
Trump
okay.
and the Republican National
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't turn that one off.
really
Okay,
scary.
who am I? I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me on all social media platforms at James Lott Jr. My radio show on iHeartRadio. Thank you.
Lauren LoGrasso at Lauren LoGrasso, and like and rate us on iTunes. Thank you guys. Love you.
And you guys can find me over on Twitter at Grants__rants and on my podcast, Grants Rants Hollywood Talk.
Mr. Paine.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Matthew E. Paine.
Oh man, I will.
He's hot.
Thank you guys for joining us. I hope you had fun. We sure had a good time. And hate away, mother.
Don't come for me.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
But
First, see you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.